Let's bring in Congressman Ted Deutsch. Congressman, it's good to have you with us. And Congressman, as we know, this is something that many have tried and failed. How optimistic are you with, of course, a lot of time and several more meetings? There could actually be a breakthrough with this administration.
Well, it's certainly too soon, far too soon to know whether there's going to be a breakthrough, but I do think that the way that Jason Greenblatt has approached this in making regular trips to the region and having conversations in Jerusalem and in Ramallah, as well as the conversations that have taken place in Riyadh and throughout the region, I think that's a sensible approach. And with the visit today by Jared Kushner, there's obviously a commitment to it. Time will tell, but from my perspective, there are some immediate things that have to happen. Secretary Tillerson, in front of our committee last week, admitted that the Palestinians have not changed their views on making payments to prisoners and to the families of suicide bombers. That's an important step that has to be taken to show that the Palestinians are committed to ending incitement, and stopping those payments is something that's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen as a result of the conversations that are taking place this week, I think it's clear that Congress is going to take action here.
And Congressman, you are referring to the Taylor Force Act here. How much pressure should the U.S. be putting on the Palestinians to end the funding and financial reward of terrorism? Should they be threatening to cut off all aid entirely?
Well, certainly there should be pressure, but it's really in the self-interest of the Palestinians, frankly. If there are going to be serious talks that will lead to a two-state solution, those talks can't really move forward in a very serious way if the policy of the Palestinians is to make these payments to incite violence and to incentivize potential terrorists. So I think it's in their self-interest, and my hope is that while Secretary Tillerson was incorrect when he said that they had stopped making these payments, that this is part of the conversation that took place in Ramallah today, because this funding has to stop, as I said, or Congress is going to move forward with legislation that will go after the funding of the Palestinians, at least as part of an effort to stop these payments.
A unified whole. Our development work makes the world more prosperous. Our humanitarian efforts create stability and goodwill. And our diplomats ensure that when the United States acts, it need never do so alone. All this reduces the ranks of our enemies while creating a safer world for our allies and for our citizens. When the United States is engaged abroad, it is less likely that we will need to fight costly wars overseas, and it is harder for terrorist organizations to recruit individuals to attack us at home. All of this was true when President Reagan argued that international assistance would, and I quote, enable the United States to continue its contribution to the achievement of a secure and stable international environment, close quote. It was also true when President George W. Bush said, and again I quote, that no national security strategy is complete in the long run without promoting global health, political freedom, and economic progress, close quote. And it is true today. Despite decades of bipartisan support for diplomacy and development, President Trump has decided to slash this funding with a staggering one-third cut. If these cuts are not motivated by partisan politics, then we're left to wonder